Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new Ninjago video here on the channel. My name is TannerFishies. In today's video, we are going to be discussing a new listing that appeared online for an upcoming Ninjago 2026 set that I feel like, again, if true, will make a lot of Ninjago fans very, very happy. I think this is very good news, and I'm honestly very excited for this actual set, and the implications of the new listing and the new description attached to it. Once again, remember to take all of these early leaks with a very heavy grain of salt. Things are always subject to change, and we've seen multiple examples of the 2026 leaks that we've had so far change over time, whether it be the actual titles of the set changing, or the prices and piece counts being added, what have you. Either way, just keep in mind, like I said, things are subject to change. This information is most definitely not final. Like I said though, it sounds very exciting. So the information you will see on your screen right now involves the upcoming Ninjago set known as set number 71866, the Ninja Anniversary Display. We've talked about this set before, we've had listings for this one for a while. This batch of information though gives us more of a proper description and again implies some very cool things. So first of all, 447 pieces, $44.99. We've talked about that before too. I was kind of curious about the price to part ratio. It seemed right on the money, but maybe could have been a little bit cheaper. After reading through this description though, I think it might be worth the price. So the set includes a small monastery section with stairs, a gate, lanterns, and a cherry tree. There will be a small tea house with stickers depicting Ninjago battles. The set can be attached to the monastery. More on that here in a second. And it includes 8 minifigures, including Kai, Jay, Cole, Zane, Lloyd, Samurai X, Nia, Wu, and a Golden Lightning Master. Again, more on that here momentarily too. All minifigures are Season 1 inspired. Okay, so lots of stuff to talk about here. First of all, I love the idea of this set basically being the monastery gates. We've heard in other descriptions that maybe it was some kind of elemental thing, like maybe the display itself was that you could combine various elemental displays, like a fire one for Kai, a lightning one for Jay, etc. You could combine all of those together to make a nice little display. Other rumors suggested maybe it was the Ninjago logo, but as a buildable thing. But I love this idea, where it literally is the monastery gates, complete with the stairs, the lanterns, the tree. I just think that sounds amazing. Plus, there is apparently going to be stickers inside depicting Ninjago battles, very much like the actual monastery that we saw post Ninjago Hunted, where there were several murals depicting pretty much every single Ninjago season out there, even some other Ninjago storylines outside of the actual TV show, like the Dark Island trilogy. That's also something that we saw in the Ninjago Legacy Monastery set, which I imagine was a big inspiration for this display. If anything, think about the front half of that set, but as its own set. But again, more so just a display. Now, I will say, speaking of the monastery, again, part of the description describes that this set can be attached to the monastery. What exactly do they mean by that? Because as of right now, we have not had a monastery listing from the January or March wave, meaning that potentially we could see a monastery set in the summer of 2026, which, what do you know? A monastery set was a part of this list, which I was very skeptical about, considering that a lot of these set numbers were kind of just messed up here. But if there is going to be a Spinjitzu monastery set that could be a part of the summertime wave, well, it sounds like this anniversary set could be the gates of that monastery, which again, if the monastery is true from this list, what does that mean for the other sets on this list? Does this legitimize them? Definitely not. It could just be a wild coincidence. The list could still be wrong. The description here could still be wrong. But again, if this is the monastery gates, sounds like there will be an actual monastery set that will be coming out at some point that you can combine the gates with. Unless they mean that the gates can combine with the already existing monastery set, which was released about 6 years ago and is most definitely long retired, so not sure how much sense that would make there. I'm just saying, I find this list to be a little bit more possible now, considering that the monastery was something that we were unsure of, but now is being backed up up even more by other leaks. So again, kind of seems like this list might turn out to be more legitimate than we think. I will talk about that more in an upcoming video, but still, I love the idea of this set being a monastery gate display with the Ninjago legacy murals. I just think that sounds amazing. Now, in terms of the minifigure selection here, I would like to talk about that very quick as well. So pretty much what we expect. We have the core ninja, except for Nia. She's not a ninja, she is Samurai X again, which makes sense considering that she did not become a ninja until season 5 technically. So Nia being Samurai X, again, kind of checks out, makes sense there. I do hope it's at least different from the Samurai X legacy minifigure. I imagine it will be. Same with the other ninja. Apparently these minifigures are very season 1 inspired, so I can imagine that maybe they would try to capture a similar vibe to the earliest batch of ninja suits, maybe even the ZX suits to an extent, considering that it's specified that they are season 1 inspired. Either way, it does kind of sound like they will be classic Ninjago inspired regardless, so curious to see what those look like. We also have Master Wu, of course. That could be any type of Master Wu, and a Golden Lightning Master. Now this, in my opinion, is one of the more interesting aspects of this listing, because what exactly do they mean Golden Lightning Master? We had heard previously that the anniversary sets would include a batch of specialized minifigures. I do wonder though, if instead of doing something similar to, say, the 10th anniversary sets for Ninjago, which included like golden minifigures, what if these 15th anniversary sets do something different? Maybe what they could do is follow along with what we saw in the Fire Knight mech set, where we had not Kai, but the Master of Fire. Maybe this set includes the Master of Lightning in a similar style to that Kai. So in that sense, other 15th anniversary sets could totally do something similar. Maybe one of the sets could include a Master of Earth minifigure, same style as the other minifigures, but of course for Cole. Maybe a Master of Ice for Zane, maybe a Master of Water for Nia, all of which could be in the similar style to the Master of Fire minifigure, again, that we saw in the Fire Knight mech. So overall, that's going to pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts here. I think this listing sounds very awesome, and of course, I really hope it ends up being, again, more so final than some of the other listings that we've received so far, because if this is the updated, close enough listing to what the final set will be, well, that means that a lot of other stuff is going to happen as a result of this being true. So I really hope this is true, because I think the path it sets up is a very awesome path, and it's one that I would love to explore for Ninjago's 15th anniversary. But leave all of your thoughts down below in the comments, everybody. What exactly do you guys think about all of this? How do you feel about this listing? Are you as excited as I am? Just remember, of course, these early leaks are very much subject to change. This could totally change before the finalized set comes out, and I'm expecting it to. Hopefully it doesn't change that much though, because I really like the sound of this. Leave all of your thoughts down below, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys enjoyed, feel free to like and subscribe. Do all that fun stuff, and I will talk to you guys again very, very soon. Peace.